Peace and blessings, family. I am here with two brothers, and we're here to talk about a film that's about to drop, a film that has been waiting for people to check out. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I actually have a script and read that, and I'm so excited. And I want to have an opportunity to pick their brains so they can talk about this film and let you know why you need to go see it. First, we have the director of the film and the writer of the film, Mr. Howard Clay, along with my brother, longtime friend, Rico Santana Grady. How you brothers doing this evening?
Hey, we doing good, man. I'm
Doing
doing
good,
good.
doing good.
Yeah. Hey,
Absolutely.
thanks for having us on too, man. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
No, we talked about this what a year and a half ago on
We
live
did.
when we was doing the interviews, and people like, man, when the movie go drop? And I told them, I said, y'all just be patient and wait, it's coming. So now it's
Right.
finally here. I'm gonna go to you first, Howard. What is Mile 19 about? And just give the people that haven't had a chance to see the trailer a little snippet of what the film is about and what they can expect when they check it out.
Okay. Well, basically, the film is about an ordinary woman named Linda who gets a very strong premonition that she needs to help a stranger that's on mile 19. And she's on her way to like the most important business meeting of her life with her friends. And so on her way there, she gets this premonition, and she's just forced, it's so strong that she's just forced to stop and help this stranger. And
Hmm.
so as they're going on, and she's continually getting these premonitions that keep pushing her towards this stranger, she keeps getting at it and going at it to the point where she goes back and she helps the stranger, and she does her very best to try to figure out what the relationship is about, and then come to find out that he meant, he was very important and something that would have changed her life, for the rest of her life. So it was important for her to stop. So it's like a lot of women get that intuition, or a lot of men do too, but you get that intuition, and it's just showing that sometimes, most times, you need to follow it, because there's something that you can't see, or something that you're not recognizing, that could be happening, and that it needs your attention. So it's a mystery, it's a thriller. I don't want to do too many spoilers on
Right,
here.
right,
I know
right.
you've read the script, so no spoilers.
Oh
But
no, I'm not gonna say anything. It's my lips is sealed.
it's
And
definitely I call it more of a mystery thriller, psychological as well, with a little bit of just a little bit of excitement in it about different premonitions and things like that. So I don't want to call it sci-fi or nothing like that, but it's a great ride. It definitely is going to leave you wanting more, and it's definitely
mm,
going to leave you with some questions, not just about
Right.
what you want to do or what you want to see, but actually how far would you go, to help a stranger. That's a real life question. We always, one of the original ideas of this was just like, you see somebody stranded on the side of the road, and you're just wondering, like, should I help them or should I
right,
keep
right,
going? And it's like,
right,
it's one of those, humanity compared to my own safety type of thing, when it
right.
comes up with that, you have to judge, in a split second. So this will have you questioning a lot of things. How far would you go to help a stranger? And then also too, just, who can you trust? Like, who's in your circle that you can trust? So
Absolutely.
it's a really good story. It's a really good story.
Absolutely. Now, this stranger is my brother Rico, whose character in the movie is named James. And I'm not giving anything away. That's in the trailer. You see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's
And,
fine.
right.
Right.
So, Rico, coming to you, man, when you saw the script and when you had the opportunity to tackle this character called James, what was your initial thoughts when reading the script and trying to bring James to life?
Well, I mean, I like to go left, I like to go out there. So when I got the script and I saw like some of the intricate parts that James, how he can go from nice and he goes to another level, I really got excited, and I kind of wanted to character build,
Mm,
and see how I could build the layers of James, and in the time that I'm on the screen, which I really looked at, hey, where I'm at in the script, how can I really build this character up? Have you thinking one way about him as soon as you meet him, but
right.
then gradually you're gonna go one way or the other. So I had a great time with this guy. I mean, you know, he is somebody that I could connect with on a sense of if something happens and I might go crazy, or I might be laughing, or I might just be a nice guy, might be a bad guy, might be a good guy. Who knows on any given day? And that's kind
Absolutely.
of how this guy is. Like he goes deep, and Sometimes he's deep, sometimes he's not. So
Right. I when reading the script, I think all of us got a little bit of James in us at some point in time. Like you said, depends on what day of the week or what time of the day it is. You know what I mean?
I
yeah,
wrote this. I actually wrote it for with Rico in mind. I know I've
Oh
told it to
wow.
somebody else. Is because it's like James is very, very layered. And he's also like very private. And like
Mm-hmm.
Rico picked up on that really quickly from
yeah,
reading the script of that he was very, very layered. I remember Rico would call me like in the middle of the night, like, "Hey, what is the backstory on what's the backstory on
right,
James?" And I'd be like, "Well, you know, he did this. No. Go back further, go back
right,
further." And so
Right.
I was
right.
just like, "Where do you think he came from?"
There
Yeah,
So
you go.
yeah,
Rico
and
had a full story about
that's a
James.
real conversation we
Yeah,
had, man. Like,
and it
hey,
was
I wanted to go back and back, back. Did he lose his wife? Did he lose his job? What did he do? Did he
Mm.
have kids? What happened to the kids? What happened before he had kids? Like,
Wow.
how was this dude's mind? How did it get to the point where it got to?
Now let me
So,
pause you. Let me pause you right there, Rico. I'm gonna come to you and then come right back to you, Howard.
yeah.
And for people that's watching this interview, I hope they picked up on that. Why is that important to know that backstory, that origin story of the character for you when necessarily it might not even be brought up in the film?
well, it's the connection on screen, right? If I come to a character and I only have bits and pieces of him, then I could only give you bits and pieces of the bits and pieces, right?
Mm.
So if I want to build a character, I need to go back and see how this guy lived and imagine how he lived and imagine what it smelled like. Imagine what his streets looked like. Imagine what his childhood was like in order to actually project it onto the screen. And I think a lot of actors they have trouble with that because they don't character develop,
Got you.
and it turns it into a kind of a it doesn't read on the screen well. And I was taught by a really really incredible teacher, so I have to give it up to him. I mean, he taught the likes of Danny DeVito and Kevin Spacey and all those dudes. So I really sat with this guy and learned how to project through the camera. And a lot of us, Howard, too, man. Like make the character something, build it up. I mean, he even said
Mm-hmm.
that several times. Like, and then when I was like, "Hey, I want to go back and back," he would say, "Well, what do you think? You know,
Right.
what's your thoughts? Like, build that character all the way up." And it's something that I really, really love to do. Like, that's how you project, and I have fun with it for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
And what I wanted the audience also to know too is that this is chapter one. There's 5 chapters to this. So, you know, we're not able to go as deep as we wanted to, but it's layers. It's layers
Mm.
to each character, but it's intriguing enough to make you be like, you know, what else has this guy got or where else did he come from? Because it's very important. His storyline is very important, but this is chapter one. So we're starting off with the premonitions and 19 and all those different things and Linda, but you know, this is just the first chapter. Like once all 5 are done and you
Right.
put everything together, you'll then know who James is and who Linda really is.
Now, Howard, based off of what Rico said, as a writer, as a director, when you have an actor that is as committed as he is and wants to know those backstories, how easy does it make your job when you have someone who's ready to work and is that committed to the role and the character?
It makes it very easy, and also key too is that not only is it easy, but you as a director and the directors and writers out there, you have to trust your actor's interpretation, and that's the number one thing that I didn't cast anybody for James. The part was
Mm.
Rico's, like
Wow.
so because I trusted him. I trusted him to do his due diligence to making himself that character. So there
Wow.
has to be a level of trust in the actors and in your DP and in your lighting guy and in your sound guy that you have to
Right.
understand it's cinema. It's not just one person. So
Right.
his interpretation of James is exactly what I wanted. What he read and what he became is exactly what I needed. So it's like it's just no, I knew that about him from working with him and seeing some of his earlier stuff. So I was very confident that he would embody everything that James was in the time period. But it's about trust, and it makes it so much easier. He came to work. It was little directing. He did like 1 or 2 shoots on some of his main scenes, and he was like, "You want me to
Wow.
do it again?" I was like, "Do what again?" I was like, "Nah, I think we got it." And I looked at the
Wow.
Yeah.
DP. Chris, and Chris was like, yeah, we got it. And we were right. We got it. It wasn't even, he just came ready. He came ready, and that's very important. But also, too, I have to trust him. I have to
Right.
trust that he would come ready, trust that Angelique would come ready, trust that everybody would come ready, and they did. They came through.
Wow. Awesome. I can't wait to talk to her because I feel like, man, I'm just
She
what I've read. She had a
Oh.
lot. She had a lot to play with. And I really like her character, man. I think she's going to be very, very impactful for young sisters to see her on screen. And I know she's bringing it just based off of the script.
And that's another key thing. And and I'll start it like this. Linda was, Linda's my mother's name. My mother's still alive, thank God. But Linda, all my main characters are named after my mother in just honor of her. But Linda embodies of what I think a strong Black woman is.
Absolutely.
And how they're more than just a pretty face, and they're more than just what you think they are, and they're strong and they're powerful. So that all that is embodied inside of Linda, the same way I see my mother. So we had it was like 600 girls tried out for Linda.
Wow.
So to narrow it down to Angelique, it was very challenging, but she still rose above the rest.
We are now joined by the other co-star of this film, Miss Angelique Chapman, who plays Linda, who you guys have already heard about. Angelique, nice of you to join us. How you doing today, sis?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked the two gentlemen here earlier before you came in. When you had that opportunity, because he just shared with us that it was over 600 people that tried out for this role, and you were the one that nailed it and got this this great role. And I haven't seen the film, but I have read the script. When you saw the script and had an opportunity to see what Linda's character was, what did you think you could bring to her to make her even greater than what was on paper?
Well, first time I read a script, I didn't get the full script. I got the sides before. And as soon as I read it, I felt a connection to the character. So I knew that for me, it's also bringing a part of myself into the role. So I read it a couple times and I really got a sense of who she was. But I really wanted to come with a unique aspect of what I could bring to it. And then having the opportunity to get the whole script when Howard sent it, I was like, wow, okay, this woman, there's so many layers to her. There's so much meat in this role. There's a lot for me to delve into. And I love that about her. She's very complex. So I just really want to make sure that I tapped into the different sides of who she was and her journey and the relationship she has. So, yeah.
And like I was sharing with Howard and Rico earlier, I just feel like this character is going to be so relatable for young sisters out there. Like, I just love everything about her. I don't want to give anything away, but her character, like you said, is layered, and I just love everything that she represents. And it's a beautiful story to see, where she starts from the beginning of this film and to the end. So, and then the fact that we talked about how she gave a person an opportunity to see if they needed help. Like, people just don't do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I don't. I'm from Chicago, and it's just like you see somebody on the side of the road, they could be your life. You know what I mean? So most times you keep going. So I totally get it. Now, coming back to you, Howard, same question I asked you about Rico. How was it working with her, knowing that you had to go through 600 people, and what made her the one to get the role? And then how was it working with her once you made that decision to go with her?
It was her table read was impressive when she sent back her sides, but also too when just talking with her, she knew the complexity of it. And she could see that in the script and how difficult it was. And just from talking with her after I gave her the script, just to hear the confidence in her voice, I knew it would be challenging, especially the way we were shooting it. I knew it would be challenging, but I don't know. I just had faith in her. It was something about her, the way she spoke about it. She knew what I was talking about. And it's good to find people who are not confused. And she was rarely confused. She was like the captain. She was the woman king. She was the captain of the ship, and she made sure that everybody knew where they were. It's like it's like, people ask for lines and different things like that. It wasn't nothing like that. You're talking about an ultimate professional that was there on time, ready to go. But she had dove in and done a lot of research, not from me per se, but I think from herself, like from her own experiences, so that she could come out and show that on the screen and everything. I think this is, she's done a lot of stuff, but I tell her all the time, I think this is one of the best resume pieces that she has, because every emotion is seen in this movie from her. So to watch her go from extremely excited to scared for her life to like nuck if you buck.
Super happy. She's happy at certain moments.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a treat to see her embody every one of them, and they're extremely, extremely believable. Like you're gonna think she's Linda after this. Like it's one of those roles where I think that it can definitely, for both of them, and other people did very, very well, but for both of them, I believe it's going to be life changing. We're not going to win no Academy Awards this time, but I can definitely say that after watching it, people are going to be looking for Linda and James a lot more.
Wow.
Yeah,
And it's funny you said that. I'm gonna come to you, Rico. When I'm reading this, I'm like, they have so much to work with. Like you said, the level of emotions and the different things that Linda is tapping into. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this is going to be special. Like I said, I haven't seen the film, but just reading the script, made me that much more excited to see this movie and to see the performances that they both deliver in this great film. Now, Rico, for you, working with Angelique, what was that like, being you guys were both co-stars and seeing the scenes that I'm reading that you guys had a chance to be on screen together? What was that like, working with this young lady?
True story. Like right before Howard was about to cast, right, and he was like, "Hey man, I need this demo reel out. Go check this girl out, right?" And I looked and I called him back like, "Hey, it's on, man." He was like, "I knew it. I already was gonna put her in anyway. I just wanted to see what you say, right?"
That's dope.
So, but to fast forward, the chemistry, right? That's like I was saying. In order to make something feel real through the lens and then through the screen, there must be chemistry, right? And the other person needs to know how to act, right? And this particular chemistry and our particular scenes together are incredible. Like I'll put them down in history for any scenes that I've done because we were connected. It's like this is a person that I'm gonna be friends with forever.
Wow.
So when we did that, like I wasn't afraid to go over the top or afraid to pull back, any of that. There was no on the day where it was my day, she would actually be like, "Hey, look, this your day, so you're gonna go ahead and shine on the screen right now." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Just do you and shine on the screen. This your day, this your shot. Do your shot," and the encouragement and the realness, like I've been on tons of sets, man. I've been on 50 different shows. I've been in many different movies as background, just in different levels. And the chemistry was incredible, man. I think I can't wait to work with her again in the future. In fact, we got some stuff coming in the future. So I wouldn't have wanted it to be anyone else. That's for sure.
Right. And before we go to our next segment and bring the next person in, I want to ask all you guys a question. You all can tackle it. I've never been on a movie set. I've never worked on a movie set. Of course, I've watched tons of movies, but being an athlete in high school and coaching sports now, I've always looked at a movie set as kind of like a team, a basketball team, football team, baseball team, where everybody has their job that they have to do. You have some guys that are, like you said, behind the scenes, guys that are stars, girls that are stars. Is working on a set and being in a movie a part of the crew, is it kind of like that? Because that's the way I look at it, and I could be totally wrong, but what do you guys say to that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and it better be choreographed right, and the pieces got to move for the time. I mean, there's time involved. There's many people, more than you see on screen. It's more people behind the cameras. So everybody got to be, moving in and out and on the right pace and page. And that's the director and the DPs, incredible people, because they set it up for you to shoot, and it's all written out. But if you're not a team, it's not going to come off right.
It's like the Lakers. Like it would be like a NBA practice. Like everybody's going hard. Like I think that Rico brought out the best in Angelique, and Angelique brought out the best in Rico.
Right.
And it's just but they knew they were on the same team. It wasn't like Angelique was trying to outact anybody.
Right.
And the thing about Angelique, and this just to be honest, she's leaps and bounds above a lot of people, especially some of the newer actors that we have. But she didn't act that way.
Wow.
She brought her level to whatever level that was needed for that day in order to make everything look seamless. Because if she had just been Angelique, and that's another beautiful thing about Black women, they know when to turn it up and when to turn it down. If she had just been Angelique top every scene, it would have made everything so awkward. But she came down to their level, came down and made it right and made the scene look great. And then as it was time to crank it up, she was able to crank it up, and everybody can't do that. Because she could have Angela Bassett it, and we'd all have been looking stupid. And the movie probably wouldn't have been able to go any further. She could have. She has that talent to go that hard with it and make everybody look like they're in a high school play, but she didn't. She brought everyone up to her level and made them, come up and do what they needed to do. But it was a team. Nobody was trying to outshine anybody. But it was everybody working together, to shine, to make sure we all shine together.
Wow. I don't know you, Angelique. You seem like the sweetest and most humble young lady in the world. And I'm looking at your face as he's saying that. You kind of remind me of myself, like you don't like to hear people say these things about you. But listening to Howard and Rico speak so wonderful about you and what you were able to bring to the set, it seems like she brought balance. And what do you have to say about that?
I'm humbled. I think that it definitely started from the top with the set. Like Howard set the tone of what the energy was going to be like. And I feel like we all came, it was a big trust exercise. We all came on set prepared, and the scenes with Rico, I felt there was just a lot of trust there. We knew when to give each other space, when to be supportive, and to have a scene partner, to do a scene with someone that can read your energy and you can match theirs at the same time. And when you guys are in the moment, it's totally dialed in. Like we weren't paying attention to anything else that was going on. It was we were dialed in. So, and then when it was even beforehand, the short conversations we had before filming, it was supportive. It was great. So I knew that coming in, it was a space where I was going to be able to collaborate with someone, and it was going to be amazing. And it turned out, I love the scenes that we did together, the scenes that everybody that we shared. It was just different energies, and we were all so in sync and cohesive. And I think it definitely started from the top with Howard setting that tone. And it was just, we shot in the middle of the pandemic. So many factors. And
I noticed that looking at the script, I seen the pictures with everybody with their mask on. So I figured you guys were shooting during the pandemic.
It was right when it started. So we had this whole outside element that we had to try to, figure out how we're going to make this project and have it come out. And a lot of films that are coming out didn't have to deal with that aspect, and we did. And we still managed to come together and make something amazing. So, yeah.
What's going on?
How y'all doing?
I'm doing well.
Hi, guys.
We are now joined back with two more cast members, Miss Robisha, along with Mr. Jerome Johnson. How you guys doing this evening?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Now, I'm going to come to you first, sis. Robisha, you played Della in this film. And as I was just saying, Della, to me, just reading the script, not seeing the film again, she has some classic lines. She's that friend that a lot of sisters have that they all need. Talk about your character and what it was like when you got the opportunity to bring Miss Della to life.
Yeah, and so, well, first of all, my last name's Clay, so Howard's wife. And so, definitely it, was very impactful for me because I'm already that type of friend. I'm like the, person everyone leans on, super supportive. And so it just was so great to play that role and, to be the kind of the backbone in a way for Linda throughout the movie, and just kind of supporting her, always believing in her, but then also on the other hand being like, are we doing the right thing?
Right.
So it was really exciting. It was like lots of roller coasters where it's like, yay, I'm on your team, and yay, I don't really know if I should be on your team. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And like I said, reading the script, you're my favorite character, just reading the script. And I can't wait to see how you bring Miss Della to life. But same thing for you, Jerome. Talk about your character and how it was when you first had a chance to read the script and then to bring your character to life.
Man, it was interesting because I really had to kind of be this I don't like to say arrogant, but just kind of self-centered young man who loves his child, but also
Mm-hmm.
loves his wife, which he's separated from. I get confused on how important it is to pay a bill than how it is to really love. So it's kind of one of those things where you gotta tap in. It's kind of playing both sides of the spectrum. Frustrated on the inside, but try to be as supportive as I can on the outside. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Howard, I have to come to you. Now, I didn't know that this was your lovely wife. What was it like working with your wife in this particular film and in this role? And have you guys worked in the past before?
She's helped me with a few of the shorts that I had done. She's also one of the producers on it as
Sweet.
well. So it was a pleasure working with my wife. She's extremely intelligent. So that really helps out a lot because there's so many different parts and so many different aspects of production that people don't see. So when it came to the acting, that was just one of the hats that she was wearing. And I remember her reading the script, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Della, that's me." I was like, "Well, we got to try people out for it." She was like, "That's fine, that's fine." So I was just like,
Hey, and she crushed it too, though.
yeah. And that's the thing.
Hey.
We did. People did send in tapes. We had about 250 for her and about 365 for Vivian's part.
Wow.
For Pam. So Della, she actually did beat them out. It was definitely a little bit harder choice, but it was definitely I'm glad I made the decision. And a lot of the parts, even with the way she spoke, that's her. She's the kumbaya, but can get crazy if needed to. But she's the namaste. Let's pray about it. Let's stay focused. Let's listen to our inner being type of person in general. So that it was great working with her. And then with Jerome, I don't like bashing black males in my movie. You'll never see that. So,
Thank you,
like
brother.
you said,
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, it was a real thin line between when directing him, for him to be a certain level of asshole, but not to be angry about it.
Right.
Because I believe in black love, I support black love, and that's why in the end, black love wins.
Right.
So you'll see in the end, he's right there beside her where he should have been, the whole time, because that's what's needed for the family to grow. He's another person that was extremely layered, and we'll tap into those layers in the other chapters. But also, too, that black love should always be present, and it's not always somebody angry at each other or don't want the person to be successful. He might not like how she does it, but he supports her, and that's what makes the difference with black love.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing I loved about his character is that he loved his daughter. You know what I mean? He loved his daughter, and he still loved his ex-wife, even though they were, they weren't together.
Right.
He loved them, even though he had a little a-hole in him. But I just love the fact that he loved the two most important women in his life, and it came through in the script. So good job on writing that, man. Because like I said, go ahead, Rico. I'm sorry.
He crushed it too.
I
Hey,
appreciate that, man. Yeah.
Jerome is one of the. Oh, go ahead, Rico.
No, I was just gonna say I'm super proud of both of them. Like, my career is on the line here in a sense, and these two characters and these two people, wonderful people, they came to play.
Wow.
I mean, I can watch them both over and over and over again, and I've been on set some of the highest level actors in the game, and I could watch both of them over and over and over again. So
that's beautiful.
Kudos to you guys. Thank you. So much.
Thank you.
And the thing with Jerome is that he left a lot for people to want to see more.
Yes.
The chemistry with him and Angelique was amazing. And I'll be honest, I was extremely surprised by Jerome because he didn't get a chance to send in a self-tape. He kind of did it on the phone over the phone.
Wow.
And I told him, fly on in, we're gonna work it out. And he was like, nah, man, I've been working, I've been acting, I've been doing different stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And again, I just trusted him. And when he came, he shifted into go mode right out the gate. He's an athlete, he's a competitor. and he has that spirit inside of him that he's going to put forth 100% regardless, and he did. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when they see him on film, and how well he does. Like he's a veteran. It feels like
Yeah.
he's a veteran when he steps on the screen. And when it comes to my wife, she's been acting as well for a long time, and you can see that the caringness and the lovingness comes through on the camera as well.
Yeah,
I
and
told,
like I
I
said,
told Jerome, I think it was the vegan food he had the night before at my house.
It was.
Hey,
It was. No, honestly, it was great coaching. First of all, I appreciate Howard for even trusting in me. Honestly, it's one of those things where I got there and I didn't want to be the odd man out, right? So, and I listened well. Rico's a great coach, and he, before I even got out to California, he said, "Hey, man, listen, this is what I need you to do," and so. I was just thankful that I was able to do it, and I had a whole lot of fun doing it, and I can't wait to continue to do more. So,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, man, we're gonna go ahead and close, and I'll let you guys, everyone, close on with their final thoughts. What do you want people to take away from this film? We'll start with Howard, Rico, Jerome, and we'll finish with the beautiful Mrs. Clay.
For me, I just think that I want people to see a story that has Black people in it. It's not a Black story. It's a
Right.
story that has Black people in it. And I think that I want more universal stories like this to come out. More sci-fis, more supernatural, more mysteries, more of those instead of Black pain and
Yes.
slavery and things of
Yes.
that nature.
Say it, brother.
The whole essence of Howard Clay Films is to make sure that we're doing these micro budget type films, but with amazing stories that anyone could play, but they're going to be tailored towards minorities. So that's what I want, like real roles where we get to see Rico and actors like him push themselves to the limit.
Right.
Because I don't want him to act like Rico. I need him to act like James.
Right.
So it's like that's the difference. And Angelique to act like Linda and not be Angelique. So it's like we got to have roles that will stretch the actors out so that they can become better and they can really get to where they need to be.
And before you go, Rico, I want to say this. This is why we have to support this film. What he said about, we complain about the slavery movies and all these movies where we see our pain and our trauma. This type of film has to be supported. So if you doing all the complaining and you don't support this film, go somewhere. But go ahead, Rico. I just had to say that because we complain when we hate something. When we have things out there in the marketplace like this, we got to support it.
And we definitely got to support it. I mean, I want people to see, like Howard said, I want them to see us in a different light. Like, you can make good stories with us.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to substitute.
Yes.
You can come to us and we can make great stories. And I also want people to take, like, hey, if you hustle and grind and you believe, you can get something on screen.
Right.
And that's what I kind of want people to take away. Like, this is an indie project, and I really want people to follow us and to be on the journey with us so they can see where we came from and how we're going to take it all the way through with the next portions of the film. So I think people are going to love it, though, man. I mean, it's definitely different. You got to pay attention, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brother Jerome?
Man, I want people to be excited about just Black film.
Yes.
Honestly, I mean, I think that it's a custom right now to see outside sources from other countries kind of flood our system with movies, and it can happen right here. It can happen right here, right now. And so I just want people to just kind of enjoy it, be a part of it, and look for more, really. Watch out, Howard Clay Films. I'm telling you,
absolutely
it's amazing. So just watch out for it because we're coming.
Last word to our beautiful sister. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, the same, I say ditto for all of it. I mean, it's just so much Black positivity, Black love. I think that just really, this is a film that you want to watch with your family, watch with your loved ones, and just, know that we can make lots more like this. I feel like this is just a start. This is just a foundation. So definitely enjoy it, watch it over and over and over again, because you'll definitely get a lot from it each time you watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And you'll never guess the ending.
Never, 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 never.
Be ready.
Be ready. Be ready.
Ah,
And what's that date again for Amazon Prime?
October 28th.
October
Oh, yes.
28th. Make sure y'all
October
go put that
28th.
in your phones, put that in your computers, write it on the refrigerator. Make sure y'all turn on Amazon Prime on October the 28th and support this Howard Clay film, Mile 19. Support this film, support this beautiful cast. They did a great job. And like I said, I read the script. I like what I've read, and I can't wait to see these characters come to life. So that's all we have, and we'll be seeing you guys here real soon. Go and check out the film.
Hey, we
Peace and blessings.
appreciate you, D.
We
See you all
appreciate
later.
y'all too.
Appreciate you.
Y'all take
All right.
care.
Yeah.
Peace and blessings. There you have it, guys. That is the cast of Mile 19, the new movie. Howard Clay himself wrote, written, directed. Again, the script is great. I can't wait to see the film. I keep saying it because I love this script. I love these characters. I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well. Make sure you go to Amazon Prime on October the 28th and watch this film. Like, comment, subscribe, and share on their page on Instagram and Twitter. And make sure you share it with your loved ones. Post it, repost it. Hashtag Mile 19. Let's take this movie to the top, because as Howard said, he's the type of filmmaker that wants to make films that we can be proud of, and people complain about the slavery films. They complain about the oppression and our trauma, and this is not that type of movie. I wouldn't be doing this interview if it was. So make sure y'all go and support, and then all of our people in Ohio, make sure you go support, if nothing else, for our brother Rico Santana Grady, the pride of Hamilton, Ohio, who's the leading actor with the beautiful Angelique Chapman. Make sure y'all go see this film, man. It's very important, and I'm guaranteeing you're going to like what you see. And October 28th, Amazon Prime. Peace and blessings.